Hi everyone, Jeremy. I've been using the Xiaomi 14 as my primary phone for about a month now, and it's time for me to finally share my thoughts and what's new about this model. I received it early as I'm part of the Xiaomi Influencers on the Global Community, and by the time this video is released, I'll be attending its launch in Barcelona. I'll share all the details on my other social media, so make sure to follow me there as it won't be the only smartphone announced that day. I also capture a lot of videos and photos during my trip using the smartphone, so subscribe to not miss future content about it. And let's start with the unboxing. The phone comes with the usual accessory, a SIM card ejector tool, documentation, a grey soft plastic protective case similar to recent model from the brand, a USB to USB-C cable, and a 90-watt charger. It's standard for Xiaomi, but it's always nice to have these accessories included with the phone, especially now as it becomes rarer to even have a charger with a new device. Regarding the design, the phone is 8.3mm thick and weighs 193 grams. It's IP68 certified. I have the jet green model, which looks stunning with its glass back and aluminum frame. 4 colors are available, but I'm not sure which one will be available globally, so you have to check your website for details. The edges are slightly curved for better grip, but the frame is flat. The camera module is in the top left corner, featuring a partnership with Leica. Similar to the Xiaomi 13 series last year, the module protruded from the case, surrounded by a Clou de Paris style pattern. Inside, 3 modules, ultra wide angle, and 3.2x telephoto, along with a flash. We'll get back to the quality of these in the dedicated section. On top there are no ports. Usually this is where we find an infrared transmitter, a microphone and a speaker. Here that's not the case. On the right side there are volume and power button. On the bottom there's the dual SIM tray, a microphone, a USB-C 3.2 port supporting video output and a speaker. There is also no port on the left side. The design is in my opinion well executed. The green color is really impressive and the absence of a port on the top surprised me. Traditionally, this is where the infrared emitter is located, which is quite popular in China for controlling air purifier, etc. They didn't abandon this feature though, it's now integrated into the camera module. In general, it's a compact phone which I found pleasant, especially for pocketability and one-handed use. Regarding the display, the screen measures 6.36 inches, featuring the latest technologies expected from a flagship, AMOLED, 1.5K resolution, 120Hz LTPO with variable refresh rate from 1 to 120Hz, a touch response rate of 240Hz, 12-bit, Dolby Vision and a peak brightness of 3000 nits. The screen is flat, not curved, which can be an advantage for some users. In terms of settings, you can choose the refresh rate to leave it on automatic or force it to 60 or 120Hz. The color scheme is set to the Pro mode by default, calibrated for reliable color, ideal for image editing directly from the phone while being confident in color accuracy. Of course, you can also use vivid, saturated or customize it yourself. There is also an option to use the adaptive color mode based on ambient light. The anti-flicker mode can be activated to prevent eye fatigue. The in-screen fingerprint sensor is responsive, placed slightly low, but given the screen size, it didn't bother me much during usage. Overall, it's an excellent screen for consuming content, social media browsing or capturing photos outdoor without the risk of visibility issues in bright conditions. To power all this, the phone uses a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 Qualcomm latest processor. It also utilizes LPPDDR5X RAM and UFS 4.0 storage. For version, I'm not sure about the global option, but in my case I have the 12512 and some rumors suggest that it could be the only variant. Regarding storage, the phone uses a UFS memory extension system, providing an additional 16GB through storage optimization. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it's always a welcome feature. The phone is using HyperOS, the latest system from Xiaomi, which should help connect the different devices together, the one from the brand ecosystem, but we should learn more about it during the MWC. Here are the benchmark results. With the latest processor, the scores are at the top of the charts. I noticed it got a bit warm during benchmark, but that's normal and not very representative of the real-world usage. In games, you can use the Game Turbo mode to increase performance and monitor it. On PUBG, settings can be set to Ultra HDR Ultra and HDR Extreme or Fluid and 90 FPS. On Call of Duty Mobile, settings can be set to Medium and Ultra for 120Hz or Max and Max for better image quality. Genshin Impact can also be run at high resolution. The USB-C 3.2 port allows for video output to duplicate the screen. There's no desktop mode to use it as a computer, but it can still be useful for recording with a return screen or playing games on an external monitor. the transfer speed is 5 gigabits and not 10 gigabits. The phone has a 4610 mAh battery and supports a maximum 90 watt fast charge with the provided charger. It also supports 50 watt wireless charging and 10 watt reverse charging. For battery life, as usual, I use the PC Mark application to simulate regular usage, allowing for comparison with other models. I got 15 hours and 32 minutes to deplete the battery from 100% to 20% using the default refresh rate. For comparison, I reached 13 hours and 24 minutes last year with the Xiaomi 13 Pro. So it's an improvement, and personally I managed to get 2 days without needing to recharge. For charging, it's quite fast too. It took 33 minutes to go from 10% to 100%. No complaint on this point. For audio, the phone offers stereo sound, but it doesn't have a dedicated cutout in the upper part of the frame. It uses the earpiece speaker and the sound is loud, the quality is good and it's well balanced on both sides. For the photo and video part, the phone features a 50 megapixel ultra-wide angle, a 50 megapixel main sensor called Light Fusion 900 and a 50 megapixel 3.2 telephoto. You can also use the 2x zoom, which uses the main sensor and crop inside it. In addition to this, there is a 32 megapixel selfie camera. Like the previous flagship, it maintained the partnership with Leica, allowing you to choose between the Leica Vibrant or Leica Authentic for more saturated or true to life color when you open the camera app for the first time. The menus are familiar from the Leica partnership, and in Pro mode you can customize photo mode. To create a specific style, you can achieve a film-like appearance, more contrast, less saturation, etc. It allows you to create your style, and all photo will then follow that style. Of course, you can also take a regular photo and apply a filter on it or edit it later to have more control over the image. But still, if you want a style without post-processing, using this preset or creating your own can be interesting. The main sensor, the Light Hunter 900, is a new sensor customized for Xiaomi to bring more light, especially in low light conditions. As you can see, the quality is quite excellent regardless of the situation, day or night, indoors, outdoor. You can even have some background blur even if we don't have the 1-inch sensor like we had last year. The colors, the contrast, everything is close to a camera-like appearance and not overly processed like you may find on some smartphones, so it's a good thing in my opinion. The telephoto lens has a focusing distance of only 10 cm, allowing it to be used for macro photography with a beautiful rendering and good background blur, better than those taken with the ultra-wide angle for example. For selfies, you can switch between 0.8 and 1 time to have a bit more space if there are multiple people in the image. The images are good, although not as good as the rear cameras. For video, there's now a film mode that allows you to shoot with the ability to move the focus from one subject to another easily and adjust the amount of background blur. You can choose between classic, circle or wider circle similar to anamorphic lenses, and there's also a stretch image option. But you won't have 4K in this mode. The main sensor can record up to 8K 24 fps or 4K 60 fps. The quality is good, the images are stable. In 4K 30 you can easily switch between the 3 lenses without stopping the video, which can be handy. And perhaps the most significant change, something that has been expected for a while, there's finally 4K 30 or 60 fps on the selfie camera. It's new for Xiaomi, but it's been present on mid-range or high-end smartphones from other brands for a long time, so it's not groundbreaking, but they are finally caught up in this regard. Regarding the price, as I mentioned, I am currently at the launch of this video in Barcelona. The prices for each country haven't been communicated to me in advance, but I leave you the link in the description so you can check your local store. Regarding the remote price, and with this RAM and storage configuration, it would position itself well below its competitor like the iPhone 15 Pro and the S24 or S24 Plus, so it seemed like a good price considering the offered features. Regarding variant, this should be the only version available, and the Xiaomi 14 Pro is not expected to be launched globally and will remain intended for the Chinese market, where it was released 4 months ago. However, the Xiaomi 14 Ultra will be announced at the same time without having been released in China first, or only maybe 2 days before, which is quite unusual. Don't hesitate to check my other social media to see how it looks. Returning to the Xiaomi 14, compared to last year's model, the screen, the processor and camera have been improved. The phone remains compact compared to the Max or Ultra model from various brands, which is pleasant for portability. They finally added 4K to the selfie camera to be on par with others. As mentioned in the intro, I've been using it for months now and I really have nothing to complain about. I'm preparing other comparison video to see how it performed against the competition, so drop your question in the comments if you have any and I'll see you in the next video.